reporting on the games you love by people who love to game. The MMO Reporter Network.
You're listening to Guild Wars Reporter on the MMO Reporter Network. Brought to you by GoDaddy. Put your website to work while you play. Doghouse Systems. Choose your weapon with Doghouse Systems.
Welcome to another episode of Guild Wars Report. This is episode 122. I am Celeste, and as always, I am joined by the lovely Allona.
Hello, lovely Celeste.
But we're not alone this week.
No, we aren't.
Gasp.
Gasp.
Who's with you guys this week?
I don't know. Wait, who's that?
Oh my goodness. It's I was going to say a random hunter appears, but that doesn't really work. Hunter from Hunter's Insight.
Hello.
Is here with us. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks for agreeing.
Of course.
Hunter had agreed to be my co-host when it looked like I needed one, just because other that I'd be on my own. But then when I wasn't, it just like, let's have 3 people. Why not? 3 is fun.
No.
Are we going to shill Hunter's blog first?
Oh, yes. Hunter can be found at huntersinsight.wordpress.com for those of you that are uninitiated to that.
Yes. I post something like once a week these days, so yeah.
And when did you start?
Oh, like 2010, 2009 maybe?
So it was originally a Guild Wars 1 with a little bit of Guild Wars 2 news, or almost exclusive?
I started the blog like a month after they released the preview trailer, and yeah, pretty much the instant I saw it, I went to WordPress, started a blog about Guild Wars 2, and blogged about other things in the meantime, and all their preview stuff.
Yay. Yes, I remember reading it off and on as news came out.
I remember sourcing it quite a lot, actually.
Yes, you've made many an appearance on this show.
I've been lucky. A lot of people helped me out, supported the blog. It was fun.
It's good stuff.
It's a good blog.
Thank you.
Now I should talk about what I did this week.
Probably, yes.
As my text to you earlier on the weekend said, I key farmed my face off, which, I don't know, that amounted to maybe about 10 times over a few days. Not a colossal amount. I didn't get much special, but it was something to do. I used all my keys as I got them, and I was dumb. I should have saved them, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But anyway, earlier before that, I made the mysterious vine back piece. So, yay!
Cool.
Yeah, congrats.
The only thing is, I don't have any level 80s that need it, but I do have an Ellie that I made it to 60 with her, so she's on the path to being able to use it. So I think that's who's going to get this. So, in any event, I'm looking forward to the next portion of that.
Yeah.
I did a few more fungeons with Hunter and some other people from Mock, and it was fun.
And we brought Slurms on one of those.
That's right. Slurms from the Orator joined us, and he's a good guy. So that was a lot of fun. I got my 11,500 Chivo chest. On the same night, I got my September monthly chest.
Dang.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, it was a twofer. Got a twofer out of that, so that was fun. And I bought a commander tag. So
Bye-bye 100 gold.
yeah, it was half my money, but I decided in the end that on the off chance I could ever use it, it's at least half my money now, or I'd be 100 shy as of Tuesday. So it was
True.
There are times that we get two groups in the guild on trying to do something together, and it can be really hard to keep track of both of us. So if two people can at least pop a commander tag in PvE just so we can see like where we are on the map until we can track guildies. That was really why I got it for.
We can use it for bitter malting.
And bitter malting. See, actually, I was just thinking about next New Year's Day what we should do with the bitter malts because of that. And I tested out the new leveling. And, well, we're going to talk about it obviously later, but while not cheering to the rafters, I'm not quite as upset as a lot of other people, but we will discuss for sure.
Really? There's something to discuss? Wow.
So a few things to discuss.
Just a couple.
Yay. What did you do this week, Hunter?
Well, Allona, I logged in for the patch yesterday, and I was just screwing around. And Spirit logged in. We got to bantering, and she asked me, what's your favorite commander tag color? What are you gonna go with? And I said gold, I think. And I asked her what she wanted, and she said she was gonna stick with blue. Cool Ranch, she called it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then she starts messaging me, hey, this new content direction system thing is telling me there's an event in Divinity's Reach. And so I immediately went to Divinity's Reach, and we investigated together, and we found this event icon with didn't seem to be attached to anything going on. And I got kind of goofy, and I started messaging her, gold leader to blue leader. I can't find this event. What's going on? And she starts responding, blue leader to gold leader. I'm going to check the rest of the map, see if I can find any other events. So we started investigating Divinity's Reach, bantering back and forth like that quite a bit. And we found like 4 events inside Divinity's Reach, but there's no actual events. It appears to be bugged out. So I decided to go find these enchanted maps that I had discovered, because I thought maybe there's a slight chance this is related to those events. It's probably just bugged events, but maybe these enchanted maps are related. So I type into chat, gold leader to blue leader, I'm going to go find some enchanted maps. Do you read? Copy. Over.
So this is just all typing, obviously. You're not over voice chat.
No. So I typed this out, and I hit enter, and it goes straight to guild chat in Twit. And it's patch day, so there's like at least 10, 12 people on. And the only thing I could say is, well, shoot. I tell Spirit about this, and she says, well, just tell them that I'm being a goof and you're just playing along. So I type that out in the guild chat, and they're like, yeah, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's why Spirit is like my wingman.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Aside from that, I did all the same things you did in-game this week. Dungeons, and I key farmed, and I got my 15k achievement chest.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Jeez.
Fist bump.
Got 400 gems and 30 gold from that. That was pretty good.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that 30 gold will really help you out.
Yeah, that put me over 1,500 gold. So
Oh!
that's good.
Oh my. Wow.
Allona smash! Here I'm like, I still have over 100 gold.
Yeah. I feel very much like the biggest underachiever ever now.
I worked for that 1,500 gold, so I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
Still, I got my paltry little 7.5k chest.
Yay!
That's good, though.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
I feel very inferior now, though. I also did a few more key farms. I think I only got like 4 or 5 in, but I used them as soon as I got them, which was a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I got terrible drops from them as well, so it was just, icing on the cake for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
At one point, I had gotten like a speed booster, and 2 transmutation charges.
Yes, I remember that.
And I was like, that's great.
You stopped playing after that, I think. You went,
Yeah.
Celeste out.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta take a little break now. I managed to finish the Puzzle Jumper achievement for my monthly, thanks to Hunter basically running around and doing the puzzles and being like, okay, come here, I've got it done.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I did a few on my own. I wasn't just sitting there waiting the whole time, at least.
I came and took part in some of that too. I decided, hey, if people are porting... I would start the puzzle at the same time as Hunter, and you're like, do you just want to port to the end? Yes, because I'm being so pitiful. You're still trying to get there. And I'm like, I can portal you up because Hunter has just portaled me up. He can't portal you up because his portal's on cooldown. So, because of me.
So that's what happened. Okay.
That is exactly what happened.
I was in a hurry because I was trying to get those enchanted map fragments that I still haven't figured out.
Yeah.
Speaking of those, I have 4 of map number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
4 now.
that's
You
awful.
just had 3 as of yesterday.
I have 4 now of map number 1.
I have goose egg. So, there you go.
Well, okay then. I guess I don't feel too bad.
You better not. I have no idea. 4 of 1 is...
Yeah.
What if you just, like, put them all together and, like, I made a circle or something?
I should see if I could pop them all into the Mystic Forge and get, like, map number 2. And then I'll never get 1 drop again.
It's not a bad idea, though.
Anytime I get something that seems basically useless and I can't do anything with it, the first thing I do is go to the Mystic Forge and check. Actually, after the patch went live, one of the first thing I did was put my mini Jennas into my bag and look. Damn! Back I go.
Yeah. Like 7 of those suckers. I'm like, darn.
I want to be able to Mystic Forge the Queen!
Sounds about right. Yeah. I also started HR Ranger just to try out the new changes with Ranger, like on a fresh character. And it's okay.
You cannot like it if you don't want to.
I'm not crazy about it, but to be fair, I've only gotten to like level 6.
Yeah.
So that could have something to do with it as well. But we're going to talk a lot about that later on in the show because there's like a page and a half just about new player experience.
Ha!
Can't imagine why.
Ha!
So another thing that you can do is if you're just feeling overly generous or, you know, you like the stuff that we do, is go ahead and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/MMOreporter. We do really appreciate you guys for even considering contributing to us, and it's really nice to be able to
Have your money.
I was trying to think of a better way to say that, but kinda, yeah. It helps.
There are goals. There are goals we are trying to reach. Goals that will make things awesomer.
Much awesomer. So now it's the time where we go ahead and talk about when we live stream. We live stream on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. EST, 6:30 p.m. PST at twitch.tv/MMOreporter. And you can subscribe to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes. Remember to rate and review as Guild Wars Reporter so, you know, other people can find our show and realize that we're not too terrible.
Adana in the chat room wants to know how much Hunter charges for help on JPs.
Free for me.
A gold. There you go. I'll put a price on it for you.
Aw, the maps are not toiletable. Darn.
So we do have an iTunes review. This is the last one as of this morning, because I check compulsively. And it is from Artful Dodger, who gave us 5 stars. They're in the US, and this was from August 20th. These ladies rock. Just add fruit juice. Don't mind if I do. Just a second. So, I am a returning player who has been away since July 2013. Needless to say, there are a lot of changes to the game. For the past 2 weeks, I've been listening to all the podcasts in the feed, back to episode 95. Celeste and Allona have reignited my passion for this beautiful game by their obvious love for all things Tyria. The hosts have a respectful, witty, and playful banter that dignify the game and all players regardless of skill level. Podcasts have come and gone, but MMO Reporter's GWR keeps churning on. It's a worthy successor for former listeners of Tales of Tyria and Guildcast, especially back in Sean's shows of Guild Wars 1. Listening, you will find pro advice delivered in the most humble of styles. These ladies put out a high-quality show. In fact, my reignited gameplay and this podcast caused me to go get another $100 worth of gems. You will hear me, ArenaNet. These ladies are good for your game. And I don't know if I've ever dropped 100 at once.
At once.
The first Winter's Day was close. I think that year, because I was insane, I think I spent upwards $70 just in December. I had a better job then. And what was it? There was something I was specifically trying to get, and it was RNG, and I was failing, and I was sad. But
the most I've ever spent is about 36 for, what was it, 1,600 gems or something like that?
I thought that was 20.
Well, yeah, maybe that.
Oh, I forgot. I took a screen cap. They told us over Twitter what they bought, and they had a list. So I was very impressed. It was a good list of things that they had bought. So thank you so much for the review. It is awesome. And Tales of Tyria and Guildcast, along with GW Reporter, were two of my faves as well. So it really means a lot to have that comparison.
Very much high praise. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Report from Lion's Arch.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about, obviously, the feature patch, but we wanted to mention a couple of things, like if you have absolutely no idea what was in the feature pack, what you should have been looking for, anything that's going on right now, you've been completely under a rock and you have no idea what's happening with Guild Wars 2, there's a great video over on Bog Otter's channel with a preview, so you can see what's going on there. And if you want to have a general overview of everything that's going on, I would recommend to go ahead and watch that, so you just have a decent idea of what's happening, or check the official blog, whichever.
Yeah,
it's a good brief preview, much shorter than One Potato's videos.
Yeah. They're both good, though.
This is true.
But they definitely take different approaches on them, which is why I like watching both. Moving on to the actual feature pack patch notes, which I guess we're going to assume that you guys can't read, but we will include the link to the patch notes, but we're going to talk about them all. And by that we mean all. So, yay! First up is the trading post. So one side tab for everything. Most of the big menus are now switching on top rather than the side. Delivery pane is on the bottom of all the menus so that you can see what you've got coming in very easily in the bottom left-hand side. If you have something, it's orange. I can't remember if it's orange if you don't have anything. It certainly makes itself more noticeable if you have something to pick up. There are new categories, filtering, and search by profession. And I know there have been people that there's been crash issues with the trading post, but I have not personally had that yet. I know people who have, but it is pretty zippy. Minimum buy and sell prices are now vendor value plus 15%. I thought it was plus or minus 15%. I could be wrong. Something that was shared during the latest Points of Interest episode was that you can get a more streamlined trading post experience if you type in I am Evan Nashblade into the search field. Oh, I forgot about that. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to, though.
Yeah.
I did search a little bit. I was reticent to start typing searches because I'm hearing of it crashing on people, but I certainly just kind of clicked around and then minused and things like that. And it was pretty like snappity.
Some of the phrases that I think that get it to crash are like Dwayna, and I think Moa was one. I could be wrong on that.
Moa was one. Actually, I got my most upvotes ever on Reddit when someone had posted if you type Dwayna into the search field, it'll crash. So I replied, what happens if you type Dwayna?
Yes.
I was like,
I appreciate most of the updates, but there's a few like little things that are annoying me about the new trading post. Do you mind if I talk about those?
Sure. We're on the trading post segment.
They removed some functionality, like when you already had something of the same type up in the auction house, you could list it at your previous sell price.
Yeah, I remember you
at
talking
current
about
listing.
that.
Yeah, and they've removed that entirely. So I have to usually when I list something that's not the rock bottom price, it's for a reason because I think it's going to fluctuate up or down and sell at that price. So now I just have to go by memory for every single item instead of just adding to my current listing, which is one thing that annoys me.
I have used that function, not a lot, but if I said, oh, I already have something for sale, I'll match it, blink, and I'll just add it to my listings. So,
yeah. The other thing for me is that if you have like a stack of something that you want to sell, the default sell quantity is 1 instead of the stack number. So if you have 25 of something and you want to sell it, you have to click over to get to the sell quantity to be 25. And it annoys me. I think the default should be the max number, whatever you have in your inventory.
okay, I didn't know about that, but yeah, that would. I think I've had that happen before, though, where previously it wouldn't sell the maximum, but sometimes it would. And so I just instantly always just would click maximum anyway. Meh.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to really play around too much with the trading post. I've been busy trying to play with the new stuff, but I definitely want to look deeper into that. I kind of feel like it's just kind of everything's been moved around. Nothing's really changed too much. It looks a lot fancier, and it is faster.
It's faster, and you can search by profession, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is pretty nice. There also were quite a few improvements to the wardrobe. So now you can search by name with equipment and skins so that you can, if you're looking for just the bandit outfit or whatever, you just type in bandit and it'll show you all the different pieces for the same set. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Outfits are on their own page and it will show you both the locked and unlocked skins along with how they can be attained. So like if you hover over it or click it, you'll be able to see that no, you don't have it, but it is in the store and you can buy it for this if you click over, that sort of thing, which I think is pretty handy. I mean, it makes sense.
The one thing, M, who's also in the chat room, when you put on an outfit, if you want to then shut off or turn off the helmet portion of it, you have to go back to equipment, turn off your helmet.
A little broken there.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a disconnect. I wish there was a way, like even if they just had a little checkbox right on the outfits page that says disable helm or something like that. Or even an icon, helm on, helm off, helm on, helm off. Just there so you didn't have to jump back and forth. That would happen to me even before. Well, and the other thing is, if you are, say, level 1 and you want to wear an outfit, you often don't have a helmet yet. And so you don't have anything to turn on and off in your equipment panel.
Oh.
Until you get a helmet, you have to wear the outfit with the helm part showing. If they had a helm on, helm off right on the outfit pane, that would be thumb up.
Definitely.
There's my little sidebar.
PvP Finishers has its own tab as well, and it's basically got the same sort of treatment with linking up to the gem store and telling you whether or not it's available for purchase, that sort of stuff. Miniatures can now be added to the wardrobe, and it's similar to how miniatures were dedicated in Guild Wars 1.
Yeah, although you could still sell them after that point.
This is true. In this case, they are basically consumed and thrown into your wardrobe.
Undead chicken.
Nom, nom, nom.
Delicious jackalope.
The nice thing about this is that you can basically get infinite number of uses out of this miniature now that it's been dedicated, because you can put it on all of your characters if you want to.
And sustain it.
Yes. If you add it to your wardrobe, you're going to be able to get an achievement for putting it into your collection with the set, which is the only way that you can complete the mini achievement collections now. They'll also travel with you through the portals if you have them equipped onto the tab. if you do not have them in your wardrobe and you just double click them, they won't stay out if you move to another map.
Yeah. Also, if you log out, they're still there when you log back in.
Hmm.
At least they did for me. And I was like, huh, what the heck? Why is this? Oh, yeah, that's mine. I had it out before I logged out.
Well, that's kind of handy. You don't have to recall stuff.
Because I logged it back in to check out an item code that I found on Reddit. And when I logged back in, it was...
I just remembered what that was.
Yes. Being cagey about this now. But yeah, the mini I had out was still there when I logged back in.
Cool.
Yeah.
They will stack in your bags now, which is why I have a stack of 7 Queen Jennas.
A stack.
And there's also miniature culling, so if you want to turn it off so that you don't see any miniatures at all, including your own, you can turn off all the minis under the advanced graphics menu.
Including your own seems like an odd one, but I could totally see how...
No, I mean, when you turn off the minis, you turn off all minis.
Oh, no, yeah, no, I get that, but
yeah.
I could see how if you really don't give a poo about minis, how that would be a really nice option for someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
There are new item rewards in the game, such as crafting backpacks. You can get the components from your crafting discipline trainer or vendor, and I haven't looked at them too closely because I kind of got sidelined with other things, but I know Am in the Guild made one and she talked about it a lot. She quite loved it.
It was the cooking one.
The cooking backpack is the best and will...
And I will hear no disagreement.
Okay, all in no spaces. That's...
I don't know. Leatherworker looks pretty sweet with the bear coming out of your back.
Bear is very intimidating, but I am planning on getting the one with the filing cabinet, and I'm going to put that on my necromancer, who is named Necronomnomnomicon.
Yep.
And I'm going to roleplay him as a tax consultant / accountant. And yeah, he's just going to talk about doing people's taxes, and, 401ks, that sort of thing.
Investing in the Black Lion Trading Company or the consortium, perhaps?
Yes.
Definitely. I mean, what else are you going to invest in? You're not going to invest in the consortium. I mean...
I would. I love the consortium.
You make poor financial decisions, Pear.
I do make poor financial decisions. I can't disagree with that, Celeste.
I mean in game, okay?
No, it's you know me so well.
Timeshares in Cellstone Cove. I'd like to talk to you about them, Pear. Wondering if you want to buy one.
I have 100 gold. It's yours. Kaladin wants a Trogdor backpack. It's just basically a beefy arm coming out of your neck. This is why I keep them around.
Yes. Just yes.
There are new discoverable recipes on the low end of crafting disciplines. Again, I haven't looked too closely into that.
Yeah, there's a new level 68 exotic, I think, that you pointed out that was ineffable. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I noticed I had, inscription. So the inscriptions, and there was, ineffable, and there was 2 other names, varieties as well, and they said they're flexible and change with your character. And I made one, but now I can't figure out what to do with it.
The exotic, I think, requires 50 ectos for level 68, which I thought was, I thought I'd advise people not to do that.
Yeah, that's a bit much there.
I don't know if I even have that many ectos. So that won't be happening. After item rewards, we move on to item collections. We talked a lot about this last week, and it's come into the game pretty much as we thought it would. You collect stuff, finish collections, get rewards. They're found all over the place. The freebie one is in the Grand Piazza of Lion's Arch. It's the spoon collector, but it's called Clio Sub something. It basically means spoon.
Couchophile or something.
Couchophile.
I didn't know. I was going to say kleptomaniac, but I knew that wasn't right.
That's not quite right,
No.
But I like where you're going with that. That would be an interesting collection to fill in.
I stole this. That's the trash collector, which I am a compulsive seller of gray items, so it's going to take me a long time to get that back up because I did not have any on any of my characters.
Yeah, it's going to be a while for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
There are some new runes and sigils for PvE and War vs. World. There's a bunch of them. Go read the patch notes.
Spirit actually got one from Trolls and in Lion's Arch.
Oh,
and it was selling. She got it from the jumping puzzle, and she sold it for like 5 gold or something.
Wow.
Excuse me, guys, if you could continue the show without me. I have to go somewhere. And have to go do some jumping puzzles.
For those of you that are concerned with min-maxing or just watching, all of the numbers fly past in great detail, there's actually a lot more there on the combat chat log than there used to be. Mm-hmm. And there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can see, and hitting the test dummy is not exactly the most precise of methods to understand how much damage you're doing or how well you're actually hitting the target. So I'm very impressed to see all of the changes there.
It's a good update.
Yeah, it really is. And I haven't played with it too much yet, but I'm really curious to try to do a full healing mantra build on my Mesmer and then have the incoming, outgoing healing tracked. And I just want to see how much I'm contributing that way. Because I know I like doing it and it seems like it makes a difference, but it's like, seems like versus hard numbers. There has also been updates to structured PvP, the glorious reward track. Earn 1 piece at a time by completing the reward track multiple times. There's PvP sigils added, such as bursting and impact. PvP runes added, resistance and altruism. Oh, I wonder how the altruism one for PvP is different than the PvE one. And PvP amulet added is assassin. And because I don't PvP, I'm just saying the words, and they have very little meaning. Because I am useless.
I don't PvP that much, so I can't put too much towards it either.
I didn't know they didn't have those PvP sigils and runes.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I should make it a goal to at least try it. Like, set a night and do it. You did that, Celeste, and you said it was fun.
Yeah, because I went into it and I was like, I don't care if I die. I'm just going to run in here with a thief and hit 1 over and over again.
How did you do?
Oh, really good, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm up a bit. I'm not, like, super ranked, but,
ranked.
I'm decent, I guess. I don't know. Probably not. There also were some changes to World vs. World where there is now the Siege Golem Mastery trait, and it looks pretty cool. Ejector seats. Come on, who doesn't love that?
Everyone needs one in their own cars. Just saying.
Okay, not what I was thinking, but all right.
Okay.
There's also the Siege Disabler trick, where you can, like, throw it at and, like, make it so that they can't have their siege, which is pretty awesome.
That's really cool.
A lot of potential to change what's going on in World vs. World if people use it properly.
Yeah. It definitely could have far-reaching effects. There's also the change to the commander tag, which we talked about a bit in the front of the show. Now you can have yellow, red, purple, or blue.
Mm-hmm. I prefer the word gold.
Oh, I'm sorry, gold.
Gold leader.
Red, purple, or blue. Yep, that's right.
I was thinking about the whole there's no green and people were wanting green. And it probably has come out, but it probably has to do with color blindness. Because most people are either red-green or blue-green colorblind.
I was thinking it would just blend in with the background on the map, because I'm finding a really hard time seeing the red. I keep looking at it and, like, thinking that it's a vista.
Or that you can go repair your armor.
No, that red is much brighter, I think. But it's like the Vista symbol has that kind of toned down red, and it's that same sort of shade to me.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Commander tags are now Skittles instead of Doritos. I forgot about that.
Skittles.
Yes. It's now count-wide, and if you buy the tag now, it's 300 gold.
Sucker! I mean, hey.
All right.
This is my one thing. Let me have it.
Okay. The fall tournament is starting up on the 12th and will run until October 10th.
That's pretty short.
So, really short. It's going to be much more fast-paced. And this also means that at the end of each week, if you were participating, you need to go and collect rewards as soon as it ends so that you can make sure that you don't miss out on it, because awards are going to be done weekly rather than just at the end of the tournament.
I mean, I read about this, so if I know about it, that's because I don't keep up on World versus World other than when we talk about it on the show here. But I remember they were pretty clear on you snooze, you lose. You have to, if you want it, you have to get in there and get your rewards.
Yep. That's a good point to be made. On the commander tag, if you log into a character that does not have the commander tag on it, so you need to go to the character that has the commander tag first, so that it unlocks for the rest of the account. Otherwise, you can panic like crazy and go, oh god, I broke it! So don't do that. So thank you, Guy, in the chat room for that. If you are dead on the floor, you can no longer linger on the ground indefinitely, and you'll be forced to respawn at a portal keep after 5 minutes.
I'm surprised it took them this long to do that, to be honest.
I want them to have that in PvE, but like for 20 or 30 seconds.
I'd say the 5-minute timer is better there.
But in a boss fight, when people are like, I'm just gonna hang out here dead until someone revives me.
Oh.
We're too busy fighting! We'll get you if you're down, but if you're dead, waypoint.
Yeah, that's kind of an understood rule that I think most people will follow, but yeah, there are those people that don't, and it's always frustrating.
Yeah, you think unicorns also exist, I bet.
They totally do.
That should be my tip of the week this week, is if you die in PvE at an event that's big, if you're actually 100% defeated, waypoint and come back.
Yeah. Players can now continue gaining world experience rank rewards after reaching rank 10,000. However, they will gain no additional World vs. World ability points. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
If you're already that high, I mean, are you really going to stop playing World vs. World?
You must have thousands of hours in World vs. World if you have that many.
Exactly. If you do enter into a siege golem, all of your boons will be removed upon entrance. Just so you guys know.
Oh, that kind of makes sense, I
It
guess.
sounds like people were probably gaming
Yeah.
somehow with various boons.
Okay. Moving on to the level up guide of the patch notes. Part of the new player experience. Skill unlock requirements for certain professions are different in order to keep them playable. Elementalist attunements and Necromancer Death Shroud are mentioned specifically.
Yep.
I did not know about that actually until just now when I read it.
Yeah, like the Elementalist attunements unlock at different levels because they don't get weapon swapping, and that's really the only way that they are able to change their skills. So that's why it's different.
That makes sense.
And Vereen was talking about this on her Twitch earlier. I didn't really get a chance to research it, but it was about the engineer and how they're not going to be able to use all of their utilities at the right times. And that really messes up the ability to play an engineer at the lower levels, I think. So it's concerning.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they thought through a bunch of things on that level, because unlocking utility skills at level 24 or something is kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
But if this was the way it's been in China, wouldn't they have had feedback from that already, or is it different?
I think I was reading somewhere that China did have some of the same feedback that we're having now.
Okay.
So speaking of new player experiences, that's what we're going to go ahead and talk about now. This section's not exactly going to be sunshine and rainbows. But we're trying to be as positive as we can about it because it is brand new. We obviously don't know everything, and I want to use that as preface to all comments made.
Good idea.
We're new to this too, so, you know, if we seem overly harsh, it's because we either A, don't know any better, or B, might actually be feeling even harsher but are holding back. The good news is that you do tend to level up faster, and the curve has been improved for the first 15 levels in order to get you to the stuff that you really want, like weapon swapping and skill unlocks. You know, the stuff that you would have gotten a lot sooner.
You do level quite a bit faster
Yes.
than you did before. Like, was I on with my new character that I made, Hunter? It was like, what, like half hour, 45 minutes?
Something like that.
Yeah, and I was almost to level 8.
I leveled to level 4 just after like 3 hearts and an event, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
It seems to go a lot quicker. So I just could put this way there. When you're just reading the list of things, the things people are saying, even if they're true, I actually think they seem a lot worse than they are. That's me.
I agree. The reaction is definitely very harsh, I think. I don't like the new leveling system. I don't like having my hand held, but my biggest criticism is that it's slower to unlock skills, and that's about it. I mean, aside from that, I don't know what else to say.
Did you want to continue with the actual patch notes? We got segued right to the other thing.
That's all right. Story steps, because the personal story has been reworked so that you unlock it in chapters. You will unlock chapters at every level 10 increment that you hit. And that's supposed to help keep you in the story as much as possible. I agree that, yeah, that really would, because I'm the type of person that I'll walk away and not play an alt for like a month and a half, and then come back and look at personal story and be like, what the heck was I doing?
I certainly did that even with my main character. Like, I wouldn't do it for a while, and then I'd do a huge chunk at once. But getting back up to speed on what I actually was doing was like, who are you and why am I supposed to care about you?
Yeah.
So,
and I think that may actually end up being a problem still if people decide to not play through the whole chapter all at once.
yeah. Do you have to start from the beginning if you stop at midway, though? Or does it?
No, I think it's still quests.
Okay.
I was actually thinking that people would be more angry that Blackline key farming is nerfed now. I thought people would be more angry about that, but it seems to be more about how condescending the new player experience is. People are absolutely angry about it.
Well, I think people are still angry about key farming going away, but, you know, we're going to talk about that a bit further down. But I'm not angry about it going away, because
It was cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly was like, hey, we found this way to do it real fast. Let's just do it.
Not gonna say I didn't. Obviously I did. But it was like, that's fair if you're making it less.
Well, I haven't heard anyone complain that they've taken away that farm. I've not seen one person rage about it, which really surprised me.
I think everybody kind of knew that it was coming.
Yeah, it was.
I guess
it was pretty out there that, like, I guess we know what this means. So
yeah. The thing is about the personal story is that when you get further into the story, like chapter 7 and 8, there's actually quests that have been completely cut or have been reordered.
What?
So that sometimes the story doesn't make any sense.
What?
Mm-hmm.
And I find this disturbing, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's Guild Wars 2. The story is what you're playing for.
They rearranged stuff like the mirror one where you find out about the eyes of Zaitan, so that that part comes after when you actually fight an Eye of Zaitan with Traherne at the end of him cleansing ore.
Whoa.
So it screws that whole thing up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm making do not like noise on that one. Maybe it's a bug?
No, I don't think so.
No.
It just appears to be the way that it is. If you're looking for a more humorous approach to the new player experience over on The Orator, there's a wonderful article called Public Education Overhaul Not Making the Grade. The No Tyrion Left Behind legislature has been hit with mass opposition from parents this week. The system changes had the intent of helping along our youth by offering tiered training regimen with a focus on gated skills training. The hope was that it would ease less advanced students into their trade skills and keep them at level with the rest of their peers. Instead, the curriculum seems to have kept those who would otherwise excel held back. The Order has attempted to contact lawmakers in charge of this decision to see if there is any chance of the change being reverted. We'll keep you up to speed with any information.
That was really well done.
Yes. The whole experience that I've gotten so far has been, it feels like the game has turned into a theme park rather than the sandbox that it always had been.
Yeah.
To an extent, especially for new players who don't know any better, they're definitely on a much more linear path from heart to heart to whatever else.
Yeah. I have strong feelings about it, but I don't know if I'm right about that or not, because I've only played 6 levels of a new character.
I feel like if you're a veteran, then you can just ignore the content guide arrow thing that's in your...
Oh, yeah.
Just go off, do your own thing. It's still the same game.
I think you can shut off a lot of that stuff in general, I believe. I didn't try because I specifically wanted to see...
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Yeah. A reaction from a player that apparently had only been playing for about 2 weeks before the feature pack went live, I think pretty much hits the nail on the head in that instant love experience that I got, at least during the beta weekend. Like the first time that I logged into the game and I was actually playing the game and, seeing it's like, oh, I want to go over here. Oh, I want to go over here. And, oh, what is this? And, that spirit of exploration and curiosity I felt was missing quite a bit. And it seems like this person also felt that way.
Any new character you made would have been the same because you've done it before. And when you first made your first character, you were following the progress of this game for years before it came out, before you got a chance to go into the game. So of course you're going to be like, woo, like eyes like
True.
saucers. Like, so you can't.
True.
So I have no idea how I would have felt if this was my first introduction to Guild Wars 2. If the leveling process as it stands today was what we got at, say, the betas or at launch, because I probably just would have rolled with it, loved it still. Like, I have no idea. You can't roll back the clock on the infatuation stage.
True.
Of anything. So,
Huffing on nostalgia fumes.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to do so as well.
Yeah. Better than fruit juice.
Yes. Over on the Pale Tree Vereen, I'm summarizing quite shortly, by the way. It's a great article over there. And it says, if it was being noted that new players were struggling with certain things, then more effort should have been put in to explain these things, not delaying when they come into play, which I just see being even more confusing for newer players.
I agree with her point. I'm not sure if it's more confusing to new players, but I definitely think that they could communicate things better without making all of these changes and slowing down when skills get unlocked and slowing down when you get certain things unlocked. I mean, when did you say that salvaging comes into play, Celeste?
They tell you about salvaging at level 12.
Which is a little late.
Yeah.
But you can do it right away.
Okay.
If you know about salvaging, then yes, you will know that you can go and buy a kit. But it's one of those things, it's like a brand new player and you're not going to tell them about that. Their bags are going to fill up in 5 minutes and they're just going to sell everything because they don't know what they should do.
That's the first few levels. You're not likely to get a precursor in the first, 12 levels of game. And if you do,
don't jinx it.
Message me and I will tell you how much I hate you. But I mostly agree with that assessment, and possibly even largely agree. Like Hunter, I don't know if I necessarily think it would be more confusing. I could still see how it could be confusing, but I'm not 100% sure. Like I was telling Celeste and Hunter, I think, that I have a friend who bought the game at launch, but he's played maybe 6 hours total. Like it's not his game. That's totally fine. And he has one character who is level 18. So he hasn't played the beginner stuff since launch.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you have to log in, make a new character, and tell me what you think. And he said, what am I supposed to notice?
Oh.
He didn't really notice anything different. It wasn't a big deal. Then I talked him through some of the stuff that they changed to help with directing players to do certain things. He goes, well, that predicates the assumption that I'm going to read anything and pay attention to any of these things because he is a very impatient person. He did not pay attention to any of that stuff, but he didn't notice any of the stuff that a lot of the people are upset about. He didn't notice as being different. I said, well, how weapon skills are unlocked is completely different now. He was like, oh, I had no idea. It seemed fine to me. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not what I would have expected. So I'm surprised to hear that was the reaction.
They didn't say, oh my god, I'm going to play this game all the time now. It's totally opened my eyes and I love the new process. But it certainly wasn't like, this is stupid and I never want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Trigger Sad over on Twitter deluged some tweets with, at the end of the day, the new system was made with good intentions in mind. There are some things in this game that need to be taught better, i.e. dodging and the downstate. But the current system can at best be seen at unnecessarily time-gating core features to a character's leveling progression, to at worst insulting a player's intelligence. Fact is, we don't need to be taught how to play after making our 4th or 5th alt that isn't anything specific to a character's profession. However, streamlining the system to make it the same across all characters causes more harm than good. Each profession plays differently. They were designed specifically with that in mind. However, with the extremity in which all of these level gates were handled, I can say that this new system teaches better than it hinders.
Yeah, well, he's saying he can't say that it teaches better than it hinders. And I have no idea. Like I said, like it's so hard coming at it from the perspective of someone who's been playing it for 2 years and following it for the 5 years prior to that.
Yeah.
I find it very hard to gauge, to be perfectly honest.
This update was definitely not for veterans, like in no way, shape, or form. So it's really hard for veterans to properly criticize it. It's just not targeted at them, so of course they don't like it.
And there are veteran players that perhaps came into the game at the height of the Queensdale champ train that perhaps if they make an alt do need to still be taught some of these basic things.
Possibly.
So, there's that. Just putting that on the table.
I think a lot of veteran players are disregarding that they can use things like to speed up the process of leveling, especially stuff like level 20 experience scrolls, which is something I'm probably going to use on every character I start from here on out.
Yeah.
I mean, that takes me straight to level 20 and bypasses a large part of my problems. I probably shouldn't need one, but I do have plenty of them to use.
Yeah, I have like 18.
That's a ridiculous number.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that should solve some of the problems for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Distilled Will also boils it down to this simple sentence. It says it really doesn't take an expert to know that hiding key features from new players so as to teach them how to play the game is just ass backwards.
See, I'm torn. I have no idea if like, oh, why didn't I have this before versus, oh, now I know this.
It's like you get into a game and you're grinding along, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, no, wait, you have to do it this a different way. And you're like, okay.
What?
So then you have to start doing that. And it's like you're juggling plates. I think it's harder if you start off with one plate and keep adding them over and over and over and over again up until level 40.
Yeah.
I definitely think profession mechanics should be in pretty much from day one, because they're like an inherent part of the profession you've chosen.
And they always were gated, too.
Were they?
A lot of them were, like, the Ellie ones were gated. Like, you had access to 1 or 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get air or earth until later. And I think Mesmer, you only have 1 or 2 of the shatter skills. Any of the ones that have 4, you did key farm with Guardian. You had access to the fire one and the regeneration one, the end. So they always did gate the profession skills.
Yeah, I guess I don't start enough new characters, which is another reason that I'm not too angry about the changes.
There's a video on YouTube if you want to see somebody go from tutorial to 80 using tomes, and they show off all of the rewards for levels, so you can see exactly what you will be getting, aside from some of the gear. I'm sure that'll change up.
I don't want to spoil myself, so I don't want to see that, but if you like getting spoilers, got you covered. We had, it was breaking news at the time that I put it into the show notes, which was an hour and a bit ago now, but Colin actually posted on the official forums. There was a forum thread on misconceptions regarding level gating. And he said, I just want to quickly add there are some errors on this chart. There was a chart further up in the thread of how stuff is unlocking, as well as first character versus account unlocks when some of these systems were carried between regions. We're trying to identify what happened and repair those things assigned the wrong account or character fields as well as levels. So we're dealing with some bugs here too. So we have to kind of keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So bugs, not ideal, but they happen.
You know, it kind of goes back to the preface that I said before. It's like, this is new, it's new to us, it's new to everybody, and apparently there's also some errors in it, so we can't fly too far off the handle.
Well, and I think it really comes down to, when they released the game in China, they had to kind of start from the ground up in a lot of ways. Whereas when they were wanting to implement that style of thing here, they had to kind of shoehorn code into existing code. And that is just always the best way of doing code, honestly. There's never any problems and things just work seamlessly and it's perfect and there's sunshines and rainbows and unicorns. And so, I mean, I think the sort of things that are happening are exactly what would happen when you try to, we got this, we got A and we got B, and we're kind of mashing them together and hope that they both work properly.
Yeah, I remember when I was in computer science in high school and they were doing C++ and everything like that, and my teacher was always like, never use copy and paste. Just don't copy and paste things to save time. It will never save you time.
Will never save you time.
That's kind of what you're getting at too. It just throws a wrench into everything. Immortal, in the same thread following up to Colin's post, says, just revert this kitten to how it was before. Why would you destroy a running system?
It's a bit of an overreaction.
It is, but on the other hand, they were fixing something that wasn't broken.
But I know people who have found the game overwhelming and directionless, and the people that left because of that, we're not hearing their voices.
True.
Because they're gone.
Very true.
So
statistics and reports on studies that have been done basically say that most players, the majority of players, like 70% or some crazy number like that, stop playing within the first 10 levels. And I assume ArenaNet has very good reasons for the changes they've made based on their metrics, their statistics, what people don't understand. I think they may have overdone it a bit, but I assume there's very good reasons for all of this. The game is 2 years old, and they are a free-to-play after you buy it game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely going to have to be an emphasis on the new players coming into the game.
Yeah.
So I assume that's one of the big reasons.
Paradox on the same forum thread. And this is it for this forum thread, guys. We'll move on after this. They posted a handy list I made after making a new character on a newbie account I bought during the sale. What you can do at level 1. Dodge, dye armor, harvest materials, go into the city when you get out of the first story, buy some gathering tools from a crafting master, craft items, just talk to the guy like you did before, use the trading post. You can visit vistas and points of interest, you just aren't directed to them. World versus World or PvP, you can use your hotkeys to open the panels or go to LA from the home city to access the Azura gates. You can use the wardrobe. You can use minis, you can access your bank and guild bank, you can access the guild panel, you just have to hit G. You can do jumping puzzles. They said I did Morgan's Spiral at level 3 and the Secret Troll one at level 2 just to see. And you can do map completion and get rewards for it. What you can't do is the combat stuff is true and locked behind a leveling curve that is significantly increased. It only took me 30 minutes to get to level 10 where all my weapon skills for all weapons were unlocked. At level 13, about 45 minutes into a new character, I unlocked my first utility skill, and as such, unlocked skill point challenges. Also, you can use knowledge scrolls at any level to learn new healing skills if you don't like the first one. You can also unlock 1 to 10 personal story at 10 and do the whole arc at once. I did that at level 13. It got me to level 17, and I have a lot of nice goodies, including the Black Lion key from that. Diving goggles and starter zones, item bundle, this one weird, but meh. I thought that was a nice, bang, 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 bang list of things. There are updates for hardware. Alien FX hardware things. I'm just going to read exactly what you wrote, Celeste. I guess that's good for folks that want to backlight their monitors.
That's pretty.
Or did you mean to say it like this? I guess that's good for folks that want to backlight their monitors?
Yes, that's much closer, actually.
Okay.
Is that what it is? Backlighting?
Alien FX, from the little bit of Googling that I did, apparently controls a backlighting component to monitors. Like, you can have it change according to mood or game colors and stuff like that.
I have that on my PC.
Well, good for you!
You can now have backlight.
I'm a little confused on why they would add that at this point, but whatever.
It's just one of those things like, well, okay, cool, I guess.
They said Hunter needs this and new icons for hooves.
Yes, that's right. They know exactly what you're thinking about. That's what happened.
Well, that is creepy.
Well, you have a blog, so you kind of telegraph it.
Oh, yeah.
They also did updates to Guild Unification. It's Guild Unification Day.
Yay!
Yay! Actually, we should plan a party for next year on the 9th of September for Guild Unification Day.
That sounds wonderful.
So finally, North America and Europe are still separated, but at least we're united as far as into continents. The Guild Bank is open to all people on all servers in your region. So Celeste can finally see that there's 1 billion sigils in Mock's vault.
Yes.
She is heretofore informed to take them all for the love of all 6 gods. Use them.
To the toilet!
To that toilet! When Mystic Forge was one of the dailies, I would up like, I put most of these in here. I'm just going to take some out now. Just get my daily Mystic Forge and put back what I didn't need or what I got out of the Mystic Forge. Vaults are going to be reduced down to the server that had the largest number of slots, but it has to be moved over before all of that can happen. So when an extra vault is emptied, it may disappear.
Yep. So as you take it out, like with the mini in the collection tabs, they will close off.
Yep.
Influence has been combined and refunded if there was a conflict or a repeat. So Mox almost doubled our guild influence thanks to you two lovely people.
Yeah, there was couldn't have been much from Northern Shiver Pigs because it was only about 5,000 or 6,000, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say like at least 15-ish.
I know that Twit Guild, I don't know what they had before, but after adding all of the servers together, it was over 200,000. 30,000 of which was from pretty much just me, maybe a little Malkior, and Izari from Twitter.
Yeah. We're going to have to start doing stuff with our guild influence now that we have more of it.
Yep.
And the price of starting a new guild has been raised to 1 gold. And what was it before?
Probably
10
silver or something like that.
Yeah.
That is a big hike.
Well, they need more gold zincs, apparently.
Oh, you know what this is for? To stop people from making banks.
It is probably.
Oh,
Just totally occurred to me what that was for.
I'm glad I already made it.
I am an idiot because I never did. I don't have any more space for more guilds. I'm constantly having to leave guilds to join other guilds.
Yeah, I had to quit my Quaggan guild finally,
Oh,
so I could make my storage guild.
you're
You're a guild of
hardcore.
Quaggans?
We would run around Queensdale with Quaggan potions on and like harass new players, okay? I'm not proud of it, but it was fun.
Oh, that's kind
You
of
should be proud of it.
I should be proud of it. It was really fun. It was like a Saturday thing for about 30 minutes, just run around and follow like this one person as they go through all of the hearts.
I don't remember any of this coming out in what we did this week. Ever, Celeste.
I think I talked about it a few times.
All right.
Long time ago.
I think you talked about maybe when your mic was muted.
Nope, it was a thing that we talked
Griefaloo. Griefaloo.
Yes, that's pretty good actually.
That is awesome.
As far as bug fixes, there were a few slight changes to different areas in Gandharan, Kessex, Sparkfly / Jaquaddle, Queensdale, and Fields of Ruin. And there wasn't a whole lot going on. It was like a couple of little events being tweaked a bit in order to make them better.
Okay. I read that and I'm like, what? I'm curious about that. What's the deal there? But all right.
Just a couple of little bug fixes. Nothing earth-shattering there. There were also some major changes to the crafting UI in that you can see what you're going to make. Recipes visually stack, and players can now return to recipes by clicking on them. This means that you can open multiple recipes in order to complete the more complex ones. And this was something I didn't know I needed.
Yeah. I'm nodding smugly, Celeste.
I know.
Nodding smugly.
I really like the UI, the way each recipe nests inside of another, so you can go all the way down to the bottom and all the way back.
Yeah, and the way that it just slightly grays out, but you can still sort of see it to the background. It's done very well, and I seriously undersold this when we were talking about it the last time.
I thought it was going to be awesome. As someone who is making Ascended things, although, because I played with this one a bit last night as well, when I was on Taylor, if I needed to make even just starter armor stuff, like the really basic ones, I could click on the component and it would take me, so if I want to make a headpiece, I could click on the casing and it would let me go to that recipe to make that part. And then I could click on the outer part and it would click on that and take me to that part. But when I did it on both Leatherworker and Armorsmith, I could not do that for those bits of the recipe. And I did already have them, so it wasn't like I hadn't discovered them and that's why I couldn't do it. So it's slight inconsistencies.
Yep.
But it is awesome still.
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
There were some general updates. Players are now moved to valid positions on entering maps, preventing players from being stuck inside structures built while offline. Hey, because that was always me. Always me.
Prosperity waypoint.
Always me.
Yeah.
They removed the commander buff, which I don't know what that means.
There was a little buff above your skill bar that was on when you had your commander tag up.
Oh, what did it do?
Nothing, just reminded you that you had your commander tag on.
Oh, okay. As opposed to just the giant thing floating above your head.
I'd never understood the point of the little buff, so I guess that's reasonable.
World boss target selection improvements. So tab priority, click selection, and world bosses can now be selected by clicking on the corresponding health bar in the event panel. Love.
And that's so awesome.
I just read that for the first time just now.
There's a new world boss event you can use it on. Maybe not. I don't know. You get a world boss.
Okay.
But there's no actual world boss per se. It's an event, a world event.
Okay.
Huh.
It's a Nebo Terrace in Goodnight Fields.
Oh, intriguing. I don't know if this was under general, but I remembered it and added it here. So it may not actually be on this section in the chat, in the actual patch notes, but the obelisk in the human home instance has been moved, so it isn't perilously close to that one tree that I complained about on the show.
That listing was not in the patch notes at all, so it's something that was just hidden.
I thought it was actually. No, it is actually in the patch notes because I remember reading it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm making stuff up. And I did notice that M in the chat room pointed out that the gathering nodes in the Sylvari home instance seem to be moved so they're more conveniently located, which is awesome because I went in as my Sylvari to harvest just because I happened to be on with her. I thought, I'll just go in to her home instance and harvest. And it was like, how do I get to these kittening things? Like, it was like, oh.
They're kind of like off to the side and up some random stairs and all over the place.
Yeah, so I approve of that change.
As far as mega servers, joining a map while representing a guild that has an active mission now triggers a special algorithm that dramatically increases the likelihood of joining the same map copy as your fellow guildmates. The phrase has an active mission?
Yeah.
Damn. I was really hoping that that was like what it was going to be all the time, because it's like if I'm repping with a certain guild and we're trying to get into the same map or whatever, just put me on the map that they're on. It makes sense.
We had a few times just this weekend, I think, with Hunter, where like, oh, we're actually not in the same, like we'd been in the party for like hours, same party, and it was like, nope, we're in different instances. We have to join one or join the other, which, I mean, that's fine, but sometimes it takes a little bit. You're waiting, like, just let me know when you load in. Oh, I have loaded in. Oh, we're in different instances.
Yeah, for some reason it doesn't give priority to party members at all that I can tell.
And that should be the top of the list as far as I'm concerned, but
yeah, even above guild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
There's also the volunteer's blessing, which we talked about earlier. If you volunteer to leave in a map that's getting ready to close, you'll be able to get a little bit of a buff that will carry over into the next map that you go towards. My question is if you don't volunteer and the map closes, what happens? Do you just not get the buff?
I don't think they can close it as long as you're in it.
Do they pop up a message like, you're a jerk, leave this map?
I want them to. You're going to get no good drops for the next 5 days.
Oh, that's pretty rough. 5 days?
I don't
Jeez.
know, maybe it's a good thing I'm not in charge of these things.
Wow.
Maybe this is what it feels like to be Allona. You get crap drops. They've also updated some dungeons, or dungeons in the fact that no more dungeon instant owner. So if the map closes, it'll only close if it's empty. Although I think that's been bugged. There's been some people that have had some issues with this right recently. But in a perfect world, the map will only close when the last person in there leaves.
Right.
I have been the guy who has left early during a fractal run to change characters, forgetting that I was the instance owner. So that's good.
Ouch.
Well, I can totally see how that could happen. Fractals, they fixed an issue in Cliffside with the cultist hammer. That's very cryptic. I have no idea what that means.
I don't know. There used to be a problem with the hammer would get stuck in places. Or you would lose it if like someone carrying it fell off the side or something.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It had something to do with people jumping off and it not respawning or something like that.
Probably.
That would be very frustrating.
Yep. Some of the changes with items that are changed within the wardrobe are now renamed with the right skin.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. Selecting a salvage kit now highlights all salvageable items in your inventory, which is pretty cool. I noticed that it just kind of made them a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
That's, nice.
Give them a blue wash.
Yes. Double-clicking a stackable item into deposit withdraw from the bank will now attempt to merge it with existing stacks first and place any remainder in the first empty slot.
Yay. I like that.
This is like one of those quality of life issues that it's like, wow, that's really awesome. Why hadn't I thought of that?
Yeah. Every once in a while I'd have to do just a maintenance check where I'd like type something in and see how many piles of them I had in my inventory. Not full stacks, random piles. So I'm like, okay, let's combine all these.
I did not see that in the patch notes, and I'm having an Allona moment because that is awesome.
Yeah, you have to go, dare ya.
No.
Aw, okay. There is a Mystic Forge recipe that accepts the mini risen priests of Balthazar, which I was grateful for because I had to throw a few in there.
Next up, Jenna.
Right?
Can't wait.
Can't wait for Jenna.
It nets you a certain amount of obsidian shards, but you have to use an obsidian shard to do the recipe, so it's kind of like you're getting back one less than what you actually had.
Still better than nothing, and it's not like you can do anything else with those multiple
Very true.
priests.
Yeah, I used it like 13 times or something.
Sweet.
Increased chance of Monkey King loot drops from the bosses in Dry Top. I didn't know this was even a thing.
I haven't gotten one of the kites yet, and I haven't even seen anyone get the Monkey King. So, good.
Yep. Steel and seasoned wood weapons are now properly named and have a new set of skins associated with them.
Which I need to check out. I want to see how different they look. They're probably just the same, just a different shade. Because that's, I know, the difference between bronze and iron. They're identical skins, just slightly different shade. So I'm wondering if it's that or if it's all new.
Perhaps. They fixed a bug in which some rare and exotic miniatures could be deleted without name verification. Ouch.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
It would be no. As far as profession skills, we've talked about it on the show. We've said a few times that there's just too much to talk about.
We give up.
We give up. Read the patch notes, play your character, watch the skill bar video. It's on YouTube. It's on Guild Wars 2 official YouTube channel. And we'll also have a link in the show page, which you can't get to from our YouTube. But if you go to MMOreporter.com and the Guild Wars Reporter, it'll be in there.
Yes.
Updates to some of the racial skills. Most of them have been toned down to be less powerful. So now everyone can be as terrible as humans. It's really what I took away from that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I wonder if this means M's hot potatoes that she likes to call the Sylvari turrets. Hot potatoes.
That's right.
But yeah, I was like, but racial skills are terrible. Wait, I mostly play a human, and our profession or racial skills are terrible. So, yay. And bear and leopard form skills have been redone as well. So I'm curious. I haven't looked into those, but I'm curious what they are.
Yeah, almost all of the skills, when you're in that form, have been altered in some way.
Interesting.
So you'll definitely want to go and check those out, if you're keen to use them at least. Some changes to the Black Lion Trading Company gem store. The Miniature Chief Utahain and Miniature Spawnier 2-pack has been added for a limited time to the toys category of the gem store for 700 gems. There's also going to be the random mini 3-packs from set 1, 2, and 3. They're all available for a limited time for 300 gems.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if this is their way to get trading post prices under control for set 1 minis.
I'm not sure that it's actually working, because I was checking prices on some of the miniatures that I'm not keen to put into my wardrobe.
Mm-hmm.
And they all went up in price since yesterday.
Really?
By a lot.
So buy set 1s. It's a license to print gold, is what you're telling me.
Perhaps. Black Lion Chest changes. They removed the following items from Black Lion Chest. The Scroll of Knowledge, which gives you 1 skill point. The Essence of Luck 50 and 100.
Which were among some of the worst things to get.
Yep, pretty much.
I got many of them. I have over a full stack of Scrolls of Knowledge.
Oh my goodness.
I have like 400 of them.
Basic die pack drop rates have been reduced by half.
Yay!
Also good. Added the following items as uncommon drops from Black Lion Chest.
No!
Uncommon, okay? That doesn't mean rare.
I know!
Uncommon.
That's what I'm saying! I wish I had saved my keys.
I wish I had too. But we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. Shoulda did it.
Shoulda.
Flame, Frost, Deathly, Toxic, Metallurgic, Lion's Arch Survival, Lion's Arch Commemorative. All of those die kits are in there now as uncommon. Heavy, large, and medium crafting bags are in there as uncommon. And so are the utility primers.
A heavy crafting bag is worth, like, maybe a gold.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
not bad.
But some of those flame, like the charred flame die is like crazy expensive.
Yeah, true.
Weapon tickets and weapon ticket scraps have been increased in drop rates as well. Thank God.
Yeah.
All minis, backpacks, endless tonics, and permanent contracts have slightly increased drop rates.
Are you guys going to buy keys now?
No.
If they go on sale.
I might consider it if they go on sale.
Yeah.
We would like to hear what you're loving the most about the feature pack, what you don't like about it, what you're super excited about. All of your range of emotions, we care to hear that.
The full range of emotions.
Show us the rage.
Ooh, show me angry. Ooh, angrier.
You know what I mean? It's not all just doom and gloom, that people are happy about some things, that people are getting used to some things that are, they're running through their mind and trying to process all of this new stuff that's happened to the game. And we want to hear your feedback, so tweet at us, Facebook us, Tumblr us, email, Semaphore, whatever.
Yeah, semaphore.
Yes.
I forget what a semaphore is.
Where they use the flags.
The flags.
Oh, I don't think anybody's going to stop for you.
I only know what semaphore is because of Monty Python, where they did Wuthering Heights by semaphore. It's like Heathcliff on a hill waving flags around. And it made me laugh.
Rightfully so.
We found out just today that the Living Story is going to resume, Living World rather, is going to resume in November. The fate of Tyria hangs in the balance. The world's races are uniting against the elder dragon Mordemoth. Their first lesson: there is no sanctuary. At the culmination of the first half of Season 2, Tyria's leaders had gathered for a secret summit at the Grove. Secret? Anyway.
Secret to Morty, supposedly.
I don't know. At the base of the Silvari's sacred pale tree, they proved an easy target for Mordemoth's forces, facing a surprise attack by the shadow of the dragon. Tyrio's heroes are now scattered across the world, but in pursuit of one goal: how to bring the battle to Mordemoth. The secret may lie in a vision delivered by the pale tree moments after she was badly wounded by the shadow of the dragon. What did the vision mean? And will a united Tyria be enough to thwart the threat from this powerful elder dragon? The fight continues. Ellipsis.
Yes.
What do you guys think the vision meant?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty much in the no clue category as well.
I've watched it a few times. The crystals seem key to me.
I do.
But I don't know what they mean exactly.
That actually, yeah, I think I talked about it on the show. I was wondering if that meant that Mordemoth was somehow going to overthrow or consume Kralkatorrik's powers in some manner.
Yeah, I think the crystals are a different color than all of the brand crystals.
Were they? I thought they were purpley.
No, I thought they were goldish.
No, it was the city that was golden.
Oh, the city was golden?
With, like, the golden rays coming down.
Right. Well, I'm not necessarily convinced that's a city, quote-unquote. So, I didn't look too closely at that point, though.
I thought the crystals were still purpley, and that's why, and it definitely, to me, looked like the vines were overpowering it. But who knows?
Dunno.
Yes, the vision confirms Half-Life 3. That's what
It really does, yes.
Calabajuri says.
Did you notice the image that they included with the announcement?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah.
This was the first I read about it. I only saw news on Twitter prior to now.
I'm pretty sure most people think that it's going to be the area with the bandit camp, like behind the big wall out of Brisbane.
Yeah, possibly. Well, there's a portal.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah. No, I would have to.
a new area, a new part of Dry Top, or a new part of something.
Right.
I have to go look at the map now.
Maybe a new zone.
Perhaps.
All new? Maybe more jungly.
More.
Vereen says the crystals are purple, pink, red, and the background is gold.
Okay. I knew she would know that.
She pulled up a screenshot because she's got our back.
Yep.
Chat room was our fact checking.
They really are. You guys have no idea.
And that was it. That was it. That was all we had to talk about. I know it wasn't an awful lot, guys, about Report from Lion's Arch. It was.
Oh, yeah.
We had
it's
to
only like an hour and a half so far.
We really had to pad this puppy.
I think that the release date for the upcoming Living Story kind of makes sense because we're going to have Halloween in October, and then there's going to be Winter's Day as well, so they had to they'll probably have like 2 little chapters, maybe, and then Winter's Day, and then come back in like January or February or something.
I was trying to think when it would pick back up prior to this announcement, obviously, and I was trying to decide if there was enough time between Halloween and Winter's Day. So I'm like, it could possibly be. I think I even said that to you, Hunter, and when we were chatting in the game, like it could be January because there's.
I was flabbergasted by that suggestion.
Obviously wasn't. So I'm like, this is a pleasant surprise to me because I was fully expecting January. So, yay!
Yay!
I wonder who Peter Freeze will kill next.
Don't give him any ideas.
He'll resurrect Drubert and then kill him again.
And Belinda, both of them, and they'll be best friends.
They can be ghosts together.
It'll be like Nightmare Before Winter's Day. It'll be the Halloween and Winter's Day blend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ask an Azura.
So we got an email just today on key farming. So we thought we'd toss that in. It's a tip, a couple of notes on key farming after the Key Farmageddon, which is a great name, patch. Greetings, magnificent podcasting mavens. As the dust settles from the latest patch, I dare say that key farming can still be a thing. While it is no longer the 20-ish minute mad dash through content, it can still be done moderately quickly. First, the new crafting backpacks now allow for an account-bound level 1 back piece with your choice of stats. So from any character you have, you can make a nice piece for your disposable minion characters. Crafting for levels. With disposable minion characters, we don't want to lose valuable money or creating full items. To this end, refinement is the key. Make bolts of jute, stretched rawhide, leather squares, and greenwood planks. It is important to watch the color of the respire when refining. When it turns yellow, stop. Go to one of the other craft trainers and change crafts. This way you get the maximum experience since you only get real XP at the crafting level up from your materials. An old good key farm, armor, or weapon set should easily get you to level 10. Remember, the new story will be level 10 for each step to the key. So the rewards are also elevated so you can get upgrades to help with later steps. Why still key farm? They added the special event dies to the chests and lowered the junk. Also with the higher barrier and time sink to get the key, the rewards value on the trading post will likely go up. One of your many fans, Particle Shift. So actually, that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
I might have to try it for science.
Yeah, I had heard that cooking was probably cheaper than refining copper or other stuff, and just doing cooking from 1 to 400 or something like that.
Really?
That's what I had heard. I haven't tried this yet, so.
I almost wonder, though, if you, depending which profession you did it on, being able to sell what you... Cooking things don't sell for very much, whereas some of the other stuff does.
You mean to say they don't sell at all?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. So if I were to do it, even if the cooking was cheaper, you're probably going to get less return.
True.
Those beginner crafting nodes for everything is going to be a lot more rare now. So.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Verena is backing you up saying cooking to 400 is quite cheap. So
if you have an event that you would like for us to share, please send us an email.
And if you've got a burning question for our Ask an Azura segment, send it on to us. We likes it. Or even tip. Ask an Azura, you can send us your own tips so that we don't actually have to
do any. Yeah. We appreciate that.
Although I did say mine earlier in the show.
This is true. So let's go ahead and talk about our sponsor. Our first sponsor is GoDaddy. If you use the coupon code MMO199 to get your next domain or website, you'll pay only $1.99. So no matter where you are or what you're doing, people can still find you online.
Woo! And I thought that was amazing this time. Woo!
Yay, GoDaddy! Yeah.
Or if you go to Doghouse Systems and use the coupon code MMO Reporter at doghousesystems.com, they will double your RAM. And I got a text from M in the chat room last week when I said Rambogo. It just went, Rambogo? Really?
But that's what it is.
Yes. Because she wasn't able to make the chat room last time, and so she was listening to the show later. And I just get this random text. Rambogo?
Yes. So, Allona, if people want to get in contact with us, what are some of the many ways that they could do so?
They can email us at gwreporter@mmorreporter.com, such as Particle Shift did this week, and it was awesome. Twitter is at GW Reporter. Our website is guildwarsreporter.com. Voicemail is 616-666-6778, or you can use the widget on the right-hand side of our website. Our YouTube is MMO Reporter Network. And remember to like our videos and subscribe to the playlist, because that's awesome if you do that. Our Facebook is GW Reporter. Tumblr is gwreporter.tumblr.com. Or you can visit us each on Twitter, and I am at OneBigPair.
And I am at Hunter's Insight.
And I am at Seliyuki.
If you decide you wanted to say hi to us in-game, I'm at onebigpair.1249. You may be sensing a theme in my naming.
Oh, and I am at hunter.4352.
And I'm Seliyuki.5046.
And we earlier found Hunter was saying, I'm at hunter.numbers.
I almost forgot my Twitter handle there for a second.
It's the name of your blog. That's like people forgetting the name of their own children.
Hey, you, come here. Come here. Yeah, no, you, that other kid. You, yeah.
My mom's default was Fred.
Fred?
Yeah, if she couldn't remember which one of us she was talking to, we were just Fred. There's only two of us, I should point out. It was just you.
Why Fred?
I don't know. Fred. That's what she defaulted to. Both girls, our names were Fred.
Oh, that's really odd. All right.
Welcome to my mother.
Alrighty. Okay, so chat room. Thank you for sticking around. Oh my gosh, it was just hopping tonight, and y'all are amazing fact checkers for us. And plus, you can...
I comma hashtag all y'all.
I do. I comma hashtag every single person in this chat.
Yeah, it's comma hashtag thanks for coming out.
Yes. Thank you, Hunter, for guesting on our show and putting up with our insanity.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for agreeing, finally.
And thank you to Allona, of course, for coming by every week.
Yay. And thank you for calling me on Skype. Who doesn't give us any money, but now they should since I said them out loud.
Maybe. So, thank you for downloading the show. We hope that you had fun, or at least as much fun as we did this week.
Yep.
We hope that you come back again next week, but most importantly, we hope to see you in-game.
That's me failing at emoticons right there in chat room. Let's try this again.
Comma hashtag.
That's what I was supposed to say.
Comma hashtag.
I comma hashtag you, Celeste.
I comma hashtag you.
Frowny face. I've been left out.
Oh, I hashtag you. Or comma hashtag, sorry.
I semicolon hashtag you, Hunter.
Okay.
Feel better? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, I have a question. How do I turn off this recording?
You press the big red stop button. You're welcome. Glad
There's
to
a
help.
little arrow that points you to it.
And then it'll send you to Frostport Sound.
Oh, we never talked about that. Oh well.